Okay, let's bring in Bob Barr, former congressman from Georgia, and he's on our Nextel Direct Connect hotline. He's the presidential candidate of the Libertarian Party. How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing very good. Great to be with you, and I was enjoying listening to your show there.
Thank you. You should listen every single day, and then you will be elected president of the United States. Okay, just follow my lead.
I will follow that advice.
And that will happen. All right, we don't have time to go through the whole platform, but give me the two big issues that you and the Libertarian Party believe will persuade people to come over to your point of view.
Cutting federal spending dramatically, not just nibbling at the edges of it like Senator McCain would like to do, but dramatically cutting federal spending and returning the money to the American taxpayer, and dramatic reform to our system of taxation.
All right, well, you got to get more specific. We understand the federal government is bloated and spends far too much money, and the Bush administration was shocking in its spending, were they not?
No doubt about it. $3.1 trillion budget from a supposedly self-proclaimed conservative president.
What was it in the last, do we know what it was in the last Clinton term, a year?
I don't recall the figure.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Under Bush, there's been, I think it's a 26% increase in non-defense.
Yeah, right. We're not counting the $500 billion we put into Iraq. Find out what the budget was in the last Clinton year, and let's in this year with Bush and compare it. All right, so we got the spending now. Taxation. You got to tell me exactly how you see this.
Well, one thing, a president can do certain things on his own or her own, and other things they need to deal with the Congress on. One thing that I would do as president that I would have authority, would be to initiate on taking office an immediate 10% cut in the executive office of the president, followed by more substantial cuts.
All right, so you'd cut your own salary.
Absolutely, and the executive office of the president, the number of people and the amount of money that is spent in the executive and by the executive office.
Yeah, but that's a pittance. But okay, that's a symbolic gesture.
But you got to start.
Well, what about me paying taxes? If Barack Obama gets elected, I'm paying 50%. That's what I'm going to pay to the feds of what I earn. McCain, he's going to keep it the same now, which is I pay about 35% in that realm, and then it goes down because I get to get my state and local taken off and things like that. Under a Bob Barr presidency, what am I paying?
Well, you would not be paying if we were able to get it through the Congress and we'd fight like the Dickens for it. You wouldn't be paying $63.5 billion a year for a Department of Education that provides no legitimate constitutional.
Oh, I got that. But what do you want me to pay you as far as taxes are concerned?
Well, we would dramatically cut the size of the federal government by doing away with a number of these agencies.
Bob, I got that. I want to know what the federal income tax is going to be, what your taxation policy is going to be.
Well, what we want to do is change the system of taxation.
How?
Get a handle on federal spending, and then you work on changing to a flat tax, a la Steve Forbes, as an interim step toward a consumption-based taxation.
All right, what's your vision on a flat tax percentage?
I'd say probably it would be about 17%.
And who would be exempt from paying?
Under Bob Barr's proposal, nobody. It would be across the board. That is.
So if I was making $22,000, you'd still take 17?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, because both McCain and Obama want to exempt people, say, making under 50.
Yeah, I mean, what's fair is fair. Everybody takes advantage of the services in this country, and they ought to pay a flat rate.
Okay, so 17 across the board. That means if you make $17 million, obviously you pay more than somebody making $22,000. Now, and then you transition to a consumption tax, which means no income tax, but you would pay taxes like they do in Europe, VAT, on anything you buy, right?
Oh, but only if it were preceded by repeal of the 16th Amendment. You don't want to get hit with both a value-added or a consumption tax plus an income tax down the road.
Okay. Now, a lot of this is very theoretical, Bob. You know that. And it's never going to happen with our system unless, the Andromeda strain wipes out Capitol Hill and, we start from scratch. It's not going to happen. So why are you making the effort? Is it just about introducing Americans to a new point of view?
Well, it's that is part of it, raising the level of debate to a much higher level, opening up the system so that the Americans electorate no longer feels bound by this artificial constraint of voting only for a Republican or a Democrat, as if there's some decreed from the Holy Mount that these are the only two parties that legitimately can field candidates that provide choices for the American people.
I was interested because libertarians have a reputation as pretty much being live and let live. Personal people do what they want, legalization, narcotics, things like that. But you are against abortion rights. You want to limit abortions or ban them altogether. That doesn't seem to be like a libertarian point of view.
There are a number of us in the Libertarian Party, including a number of party officials that are pro-life. We view the issue the same as the Libertarians view the taking of any life. That is the fundamental tenet of libertarianism, that you cannot take another life or you cannot take somebody's resources by force.
All right, so there's a division in the Libertarian Party about that.
There is.
Okay. Now, final question. Iran, very dangerous, as you know, and your party doesn't want the USA to be the world's policeman. Would you be proactive in confronting Iran?
I think we absolutely would be proactive in confronting them, but there are many very constructive ways that one can do so, short of military action. I see nothing in the intelligence arena, the military arena right now that would make a military option necessary or even likely in the short term.
So you're not buying the Iranians are close to getting a nuke?
No, everything that I see, and I spent 8 years with the CIA, maintain a lot of good contacts there. They're not nearly close.
Now, say they were at the end of your first term. Say they got closer, and would you confront them on that?
Absolutely, I would confront them now. But all I'm saying is, I think there are some diplomatic,
and that's
economic options we could be using.
But you always have to have worst case scenario.
Absolutely, you always maintain that in reserve.
So, President Barr would not allow Iran to develop a nuclear weapon?
I think that would be extremely dangerous, would not be advisable for us or anybody else anywhere in the world, not just in that region.
All right. Bob Barr, thanks very much. We appreciate it. The Libertarian candidate for president.